When I tell you my neck pain was gone, I mean gone. Hello. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about loupes. If you don't know what loupes are, basically, if you've ever seen Grey's Anatomy, side note, I was like the last person on the face of this earth to get into it. Basically, the little binocular magnification things that they wear, those are loupes. Typically, professions that use loupes are like dentists, surgeons, jewelers, so anybody that's doing intricate work. That's where we come in. Lash artists, we're doing work that's intricate as fuck. At the moment, I'm only aware of 2 companies that sell loupes specifically to lash artists. They customize loupes, but what I'm going to be talking about today is my DIY loupes. So if you're just starting a business or you're not ready to invest into customized loupes, then keep watching. So the loupes I'm talking about in this video are these right here. Literally DIY'd them from Amazon, and I'm gonna show you how, and I'm gonna link everything below. So I'm gonna get into what I ordered, why I put it on here, and why I specifically chose these. So first things first, the actual frames. These are blue light glasses. I do lash with an LED, UV LED, but it's an LED curing system. But just to be extra safe, I wear blue light glasses when I lash. Previously, I've always used magnification glasses, like regular readers. These I've been using for a long time. I bought them at Target. These have a blue light filter in them as well. These I used in a 2.5x magnification. And I loved how these fit my face, so these blue light frames, these are not magnified, these are just regular blue light glasses. I purposely bought the same kind of frame. I just like a larger glasses situation. So after LashCon, I saw that there was loupes, I saw the price tag on it, and I knew I wasn't ready to drop, $1,000, $1,500 on a pair of custom loupes yet. Plus, I didn't want to invest in something that I didn't know if I was going to like. But my neck was really killing me, and I was like, when I get back home, I have to do something because my neck just could not take it anymore. As a lash artist, we have different pains. I know some people have hip pain, back pain, neck pain. I've adjusted my lashing setup to help with the other pains. Like I have a saddle stool. My recliner is a power recliner, so I can adjust the height and everything and the angle. But even though a 2.5 is a pretty strong magnification, it still required me to kind of tilt my neck forward a little bit. So after a long time of doing that, it causes you a lot of pain. I went to physical therapy for it. They gave me stretches and exercises to do in addition to what I already do at the gym, just to keep my neck muscles strong and keep everything aligned the way it's supposed to be. Sometimes my husband will realign for me. I don't recommend that. Go to a chiropractor, but that's the situation, or that was the situation. And the difference between the custom loupes and these is that these are clip-on, and the custom ones, they measure you, and it's actually drilled into the frame and the lens that you choose. At LashCon, there were so many artists that love loupes, and there were so many that were like, no, they're not for me. But I got some tips and tricks while I was there of why people didn't like them and the adjustment period. So I'll talk about that too. So these specific frames, why I recommend these specific ones is they're pretty heavy duty. They're actually a little bit more weighted than my regular ones, which is perfect because these clip-on loupes are actually a little bit heavy, so they need to be on frames that will hold up. So again, everything's going to be linked below. These specific ones I highly recommend. This was a lucky purchase because if you're buying frames off Amazon, sometimes they're kind of light, they're kind of cheap. These are really good. So clip-on loupes, same 2.5 magnification as my readers. And then in addition to that, one of the tips that I got at LashCon was that people who do use loupes, sometimes because they're a little bit front heavy, if you are tilting your head down, they can kind of slide off. So those other 2 companies I mentioned, they do sell these that come with the custom loupes. It just so happens that they sell these separately on Amazon. So I made sure to get these because I already knew my skin is very oily and my normal glasses would sometimes slide off of my face just as is. So I made sure that the glasses had the nose pads, and I made sure that I bought one of these to secure it around my head. So I will show you when I wear them. That way they stay put. And this is adjustable too, so if your head's a little bit wider, you can adjust it. This one, if I scrunch it all the way down, it fits perfectly around my head. And also this knob right here will adjust the distance between these two little binocular pieces. So when you're looking down at the client's eyelashes, it should kind of morph into one image. If you're seeing two separate black circles, they're too far and you need to get them closer together. So now that I showed you how I put these pieces together to make my own loupes, I'm going to tell you some expectations. So first of all, if you're lashing without magnification glasses, I highly recommend you at least get readers, because you're just causing yourself a lot of future problems. You're straining your eyes. Chances are you're hovering over your client. Even if you're not hunching with your neck, but you're hovering with your chest, you have to put your shoulders and your wrists in a different position to be lashing like that. So I highly recommend you at least get some sort of magnification, so your precision is better, your retention is going to be better because of that, and you're avoiding other problems like certain pains and certain strains. So now for my lash artists that are already using some type of readers. It has a learning curve. I personally went through this, and other lash artists, same thing. When they switched over to loupes, it's about a week or two of a learning curve. And the reason for that is habit. So when you're wearing regular readers, you have the habit, your body already knows, it has that muscle memory of like where it's going, where your eyes are going, where your face is going, where your hands are going. Everything is kind of, you've been doing it for a long time, you're used to it. When you switch, remember, this 2.5x is the same as this 2.5x. So even though it looks all like fancy and super focused, this is not like, it's not like looking under a microscope. It's giving you the same magnification. The difference is it's giving you the same magnifications from a different distance. So let me explain that. So I will give you this box as an example, right? When you're using magnification glasses, the box looks like this. So it's a little bit closer to you. So when you use the loupes, you're going to see the box like this, but from this distance. So the box looks the same, but I'm standing further back. So because that's the case, the loupes will literally force you to sit up straight. And that's how it relieves pain. Remember when I said with these, my neck was typically like this. I'll give you guys a side view. So typically, if I'm like this, I'm also like this. Try and give you a better angle. So typically, I will try to use this box actually. So let's say these are my client's lashes. Typically, I'm like this with my chest, but also like this with my neck. It just gave me the best view. Now I'm gonna try to keep this box right here as I use these loupes. So when I use the loupes, if I'm at this exact position, this box is so close that it's blurry. So I literally have to come kind of here for the box to look the same as it did with the readers. So again, it's instead of like this, it's forcing my neck up, my shoulders back, my chest high. When I tell you, after the week and a half, 2-week adjustment period using these, my neck pain was gone. I mean, gone. I still can't believe it, like saying this right now. Before, even after one client sometimes, but definitely after 2, my neck was already hurting and I was like, ugh, like having to get through these clients. But now, literally nothing. It doesn't hurt. It's not misaligned. Remember how I said my husband like cracks my back sometimes? Don't recommend. But he does that now and nothing cracks. These loupes have me in such good posture. It's insane. So again, I mentioned the 1.5, 2 week adjustment period. That is because, again, bad habits, right? You're used to coming like this or like this or like this, however you lash. You're used to doing that. But the loupes are forcing you to look like this. So because your body and your eyes and your brain will naturally go like this, and then you're like, every time you get closer, it's gonna blur. So therefore you have to readjust yourself like, oh, I'm wearing loupes, I have to sit up so I can see clearly. But again, you're lashing, then your body naturally goes like this, and you're like, oh, it's blurry again, have to readjust myself. So that back and forth of readjusting, blurry, not blurry, blurry, not blurry, well, one, it's gonna take several clients to get used to that. So you build a new muscle memory. But two, that mess that back and forth with your vision and your brain, it's going to make you dizzy and it's going to give you headaches. On a scale of 1 to 10, my dizziness was like a 3 after the clients for the day, and my headaches were like a 5. And I'm someone who's had migraines before. I'm someone with a decent pain tolerance, not really super high. So my numbers were 3 for dizziness, 5 for headache. After each day of lashing a few clients with the loupes on. I highly recommend that you practice with clients that love you and they're not in a rush, family that you lash, that they come to you for lashes, or your mannequin. I wouldn't recommend anything new that you ever bring into your business. I wouldn't recommend testing it out like on paying clients, difficult paying clients. I wouldn't ever recommend that. So definitely get used to them on a person that you're comfortable with. Anything else that I'm missing? Oh, when you're lashing, okay, when I'm lashing specifically, I lash with, I'll show you like this. I lash with my client here, my lash tile about here, and I use a glue ring, adhesive ring, whatever. So because they're at different levels, I noticed that I look through the actual loupes when I'm picking up and when I'm placing. But in between that, I have to dip into my glue ring. So this, because my hands are around here, my glue ring is typically too close to me and it falls into that line of vision that's blurry in the loupes. So for that, when I'm looking, my actual eyeballs will look through here for the lashes and look through here for the lash tile. But when I'm looking at my glue ring, I'm actually moving my eyes and I'm looking through the lens of the glasses, so that, because this is close enough, I don't need magnification to see this. I have props. So if I'm lashing like this is too close, it's going to be blurry through the loupes. So when I'm looking at this, I'm not moving my head, I'm just moving my eyes down toward the bottom section right here where my glue ring is resting. So that's just a tip, so that you're not constantly like trying to figure out, especially when you're first learning how to use these, you're not driving yourself crazy like I did, trying to figure out where to put your head to like see all the 3 things you need to see. If you lash with the glue dot on your lash tile next to your client's head, if you lash with the glue dot there, it's not going to be an issue. So if you lash like that, don't worry about it. But if you have a glue ring, just keep that in mind. Don't look through the loupes to see your glue because it's going to be blurry. Altogether, I will link everything below, but just to give you a general price, this was about, the loupes themselves were about $50. The frames were about $15, and then this was about $5. So altogether, I spent $70, $75 on this little setup right here that I'm very happy with. It's very useful. It's kept me pain-free, and it's just the best thing ever, and I highly recommend so that everybody uses it. If you have any other questions, maybe something I didn't think to mention that you're curious about, please leave it in the comments below. I'm super active in my comment section, so I'm happy to answer any questions that I can. I will leave as much as I can linked below for you. And I hope you found this video super useful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!